Let's do it.
Woo!
Yes.
We're here with the one and only Scott Hachey from the Magic Beans
Podcast
edition. What's up, man? Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
So I'd love to talk about the beans, but we're really focusing right now on Beanstalk. So what year is it right now? This year is going to be...
This is the 6th annual.
6th annual. Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty crazy 6 years.
Yeah.
It's probably been a pretty crazy few days for you leading up to it.
You know, all facets of my life have been pretty crazy the last 6 years. So
Good crazy, though?
Beanstalk, good. Yeah. And Beanstalk's one of those things, major thing.
So bring it back to... I'm going to start... Let's start at the beginning, really, before we start to talk about anything else.
Okay.
Were you always... before you had the idea for Beanstalk, did you always love festivals? Did you always go to them and stuff like that?
You know, yeah, I would say I loved festivals at that point in my life. I actually started it when I was 20 years old, I want to say, or 20. It would be 21 years old. So I was still very much like at peak like festival mode for sure. I went to them growing up in high school, and they really had a profound effect on me. That's kind of like how I got into all the music that I'm in now, and the scene I find myself in, and yeah, no, it was all about it. And
was it always something you wanted to like? Did you always
No.
like when so you didn't want to?
No.
So how did it come about? Like, what was the moment when you're like? Because I think we all, especially in the music scene, we're all really good at coming up with ideas. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's the execution.
Yeah, it's like I'm like proud of myself. I was like, I thought of something today. This is great. But like, what was the moment for you when you're like, actually, I think I'm gonna actually do this? So you wanted to do it.
You know, it really happened like organically. The Beans got we were playing Camp Out for the Cause up at State Bridge, which had just reopened, and you know, hit it off with the crew and the people there, and then like they offered us a 2-night run over the summer, and gave us.
And how long had the Beans been around at this point? Probably like 3 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 3 years now. You know, house partying it up and playing venues and stuff, and basically they gave us a really solid offer, and we were kind of, you know, if you've ever been to State Bridge, there's like a lot of room, so we were kind of just like skeptical in general about like how many people can we actually bring all the way up to Bond, Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's a great look. It's like people you try to describe State Bridge to people, and you're like, it's one of the most beautiful venues. Where is it? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Vail, I tell people.
It's Vail, but like.
But like once you get there, everyone like it's one of those things that you're sold the moment you get there.
Oh yeah.
So that was kind of our thing, is like we know people would get turned on by the spot, but we probably can't do it by ourselves. So we basically took our entire guarantee, money wise, and spent it on getting other bands to just come up and join us and try to draw people up. At that point, it was like mainly all our Boulder crew, like Technicolor Tone Factory,
Eminence
and like
Ensemble.
yeah, they did like Eminence and Astronomics and bands playing at that point, and that's kind of like the first year, I guess. And then since then, I guess you can't really downgrade, can you?
We're just doing one night.
So yeah, with just us now. So I guess it just kind of continued and grew organically from there, man.
And so then you moved from State Bridge over to the Rancho Del Rio, right? That spot. When did that happen?
Yeah, you know, we actually did 4 years at State Bridge. Oh no, wait, 3 years, 4 years. Because the first one wasn't called Beanstalk. So the 6 Beanstalks, one festival before that, which is the one I was just detailing, and then so we did a couple years there, and then we had J-Rad up that one year in 2015.
Wow.
And that escalated quickly.
Was that when you're like, all right, we're doing this? Like, this is.
Well,
at that
yeah,
point.
the previous years were like modest, you know, I'd say like, you know, 500, 700 probably max on the year before that. And then we got J-Rad kind of like before the hype.
Yeah.
Tom Hamilton had been doing the festival every year, and now he's in this new band, so he was like, yeah, we'll make it happen. And then like they hit, like we booked him, and then they like went huge.
Yeah.
So like we sold that one out, 1,500 people, which was way over capacity.
Like that was just irresponsible.
It really was. No, very irresponsible. We were not expecting it. We actually went up like with under half the tickets sold. So we're like, oh, maybe we'll even break even or whatever. and it was slamming, and we actually had to like rent out an extra campsite, and it ended up being a horrible extra.
It was a great problem to have, but it was still a problem.
Yeah, no, and there's like, if you've ever been up there, there's like no phone service and stuff, so
Oh,
it's
it's
always
crazy.
like hectic, and
I'm always
but it
worried
was
when
beautiful.
Whenever I've gone to State Bridge, I'm always like, this is when something I need to get in touch with someone's happening, and like they're trying to be like, where is he or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
no, it's great for people, but if you're trying to like operate a music festival, it can not be ideal. But
Like send him a text message like, I can't.
we got that figured out. Yeah, so now we're up at Rancho, which eliminated like the bus situation, which I think was causing everyone stress, and so now everything's in one spot. You
Yeah, exactly.
camp, you float, you watch music, and whatever else you want to do.
Yeah, you know.
Whatever you're into.
So would you say top back? I mean, back then, J-Road must be one of your favorite sets you've ever had there.
Absolutely.
What other ones?
definitely
What's been
like
one of
that.
your like favorite besides J-Road? What's like one of your favorite sets?
Man, that same year, Kyle Hollingsworth with Michael Kang was
Oh.
pretty sick. It was almost like having string cheese there.
Is
And,
that
'cause-
something you try to focus? Sorry to interrupt, but like
Yeah.
having just like seeing a bunch of the lineups and stuff. Do you try to focus on making it a like you actually make effort into making it a Colorado focused festival?
Yeah, I'd say, more so in the past and recently. We always like the local music is always a big part of it, but as far as headliners, it becomes harder and harder
yeah.
just because everyone's got their thing. We obviously can't afford string cheese and stuff,
Yeah.
so that's a big part of why we always end up with like the super groups and all that stuff.
I mean, people love the super groups just as much.
I think it's great.
I think it's awesome. I mean, last year, who was in the band? Was it well, Todd Hamilton was there, and
Who else? Oh yeah, we had the super group last year. That was the James Brown tribute.
yeah, that
That
was
was
crazy.
spectacular,
With
which was
Corey
like
from Main Squeeze.
Corey from Main Squeeze, some of the dudes, like the bass player from the actual James Brown band.
Yeah, he like
um,
tours with them, I think, full time.
Yeah, it was a cool project. They crushed it. So that's kind of where it comes together. And this year we're doing the Beanstalk All Stars, which is
Mhm.
Brownie and Aaron from Disco Biscuits, Matt Jalbert from Talk, Dave Watts from Motet, and then we got some, bunch of other people on the lineup probably going to be stepping in and shaking it up. I don't know. It matches the Beanstalk vibe, the Super Jam thing it's loose, and so is Beanstalk. So
Well,
it's
yeah, I was gonna
perfect.
say it's just coming from now as not only the person who runs the festival but a member of the Magic Beans. When you're getting ready for this, do you kind of keep that in mind that you're like, we don't, because there's so many people behind stage that are like easily could jump on stage at any point and party and stuff. Do you like, how much planning goes into that? How do you as the band prepare for this?
Yeah, we try to get as many cool people as we can on stage as possible.
Is he good? But he's cool, man.
Always working the angles. Not everyone is able. We always play the last set,
Yeah.
so not everyone's able to stick around all the way until then. But people that do, we try to plan for it. We try to plan some songs, but this year actually we're going the opposite. Last few years we've done a bunch of planning. We've done like full horn sections and tons of new covers and stuff like that. And I think this year we're going to concentrate on like just kind of getting really loose, going deep for the fans, maybe doing some bust outs that we haven't played in a minute. And we got a bunch of actually new stuff we're going to do.
So any other surprises people should be looking out for this year?
I mean, who knows? It'll probably surprise me if it happens. Who knows, man?
Has there been something that like happened one year and you're like, wow, this is like amazing or crazy or something?
Every year. Last year, I was walking down the path, and some guy had jerry-rigged a system where he was hanging from the front of his truck, and he by like some straps, and he had this huge BC Rich guitar, like a metal guitar. Picture like the corniest metal guitar you've ever seen. If you're listening to this, you don't know guitars. And he's got this Marshall amp turned all the way up, and he's like shredding while they're driving down the main street of Rancho Del Rio. Kind of like the intro of Mad Max or whatever. Not even the intro, that crazy guy in Mad Max playing guitar.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That was pretty savage. People always come up with cool ideas, That's part of the thing is it's so small, and there's so many friends that go that there's things that pop up and teepees and weird parties and whatever, and like guitars with random stuff on it and like whatever.
Guitars, man, they get you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the thing I love about Beanstalk the most is like there's so much planned and it's well run and stuff, but it's the stuff you don't expect to happen, which is great. I mean, I remember the year we got to play. I think it was like 1 a.m, and then Winston and all those guys just started a pick, and like everyone came over and stuff, and it's just like the community there is crazy.
Yeah. That definitely, a big influence for us putting on the thing up at Rancho is our kind of like older brother festival, Yarmany Grass.
Yeah.
That's been there probably twice as long. I think they're on year 12, actually, exactly twice as long now. And that's a huge part of Yarmany.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing that pop up, and I was amped. So if you're hearing this and you have acoustic instruments at Beanstalk, like, get it going, dude.
Do it.
Start the late night party. Or go to the silent disco and do things off guitars. I don't know.
Mom, that one's for you. No, dude. So when it comes to choosing the bands and stuff like that, how does that happen? Do you have a big say in that, or how do you try to focus on getting bands involved like that?
Yeah. So I guess the top of the business food chain for Beanstalk is me and Ryan Noel, and we're the business partners. And I brought him in the second year into the festival, and he's been basically taken over. No, he does an amazing job. He's incredibly thorough. He's hardworking, and so he's amazing. We just kind of argue about it for 6 months until we have the whole lineup picked, and it's great. And there's a lot of, like I said earlier, cherry picking around Red Rocks and some of the bigger promoters and festivals. We can't really match the cash, so there's a lot of calling in favors and back channeling and like.
Well, and a lot of people will do it just because they've been there so long that they just want to do it too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's how we get like, Brownie and Aaron back and Tom Hamilton every year, and definitely tons of returning bands. This is actually the first year Kitchen Dwellers haven't done it, but they're the same way.
We have the Special coming back.
They're coming back.
They're awesome.
It's definitely one of those spots. I mean, once you get to be a part of it, you're like, yeah, I would definitely do that, and I would probably do it for less than normal just because of how much fun it is. So
well, yeah, it's like
we operate on that.
You love it? Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah, because we're not a big operation, so it's definitely humbling when people decide to make it a part of their summer tour, because a lot of these bands could be anywhere. We got some good acts like Aqueous and Ghostlight, pretty busy, pretty in-demand acts, so we feel lucky that they decided to swing through Beanstalk, and should be pretty cool.
Pretty cool?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Beanstalk is the 28th through the 30th of this month over at Rancho del Rio. Tickets still for sale for now?
Yes, they are.
And they can find them where?
www.beanstalkfestival.com.
Full stop.
Or you can W now, or type it into Google and put that brain to work. I'm sure you guys can figure it out.
All right, well, Scott, thanks for sitting down with me and talking to me a little about Beanstalk. I'll see you there.
I appreciate you, man.
River.
Yeah, I hope to see everyone listening at Beanstalk, and let's hang out. Bring your sunscreen though,
and bring the guitars.
And whatever else.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Peace.